Time to come back to my vlog. I haven't done my vlog for a while. I think the last time when I did it, it was a couple of weeks before the competition in Malaysia. Obviously, the competition is already over. Today, I want to share how was the competition, what I did before the competition, what I did after the competition, what is my current training routine. Unfortunately, before the last competition in Malaysia, I was training pretty regularly. But then a few weeks before the competition, I get some kind of virus. I was thinking that this is a dengue virus because the symptoms was quite similar, but luckily it was not. But still, for I think 4, 5, maybe even 6 days, I was out of training. And then when I come back to training, I don't know if I'm recovered fully or not. This is why I start with a moderate distance, like small distance at the beginning, then moderate, then a little bit higher and higher. This is why my last couple of weeks before the competition was compromised because of that. But nevertheless, in training, I did both fins and monofin, I think 130 meters. So I was more or less satisfied with that. I was confident that I can do not that bad in a competition itself. We went for Malaysia. I don't remember the name of the city in Malaysia. It is not the biggest city. It is like an hour away from Kuala Lumpur. The competition was organized pretty well. The organizers did a good job. It was quite a small competition. I think it was less than 10 participants, including 4 of us who came from Thailand. You can say it was pretty small. However, it was really well organized. The only problem we discovered before the competition itself, that because there are not that many participants, the time frame between, let's say, discipline and another discipline is going to be quite small. And because I decided to do 2 disciplines, bifins and monofin, I was afraid the rest is going to be really short. Luckily, it was all right. I think it was around an hour. So obviously, it was not perfect rest, but it was more or less okay. My first discipline was a monofin. I did 164, which was okay. I wouldn't say it was easy, but I wouldn't say it was extremely difficult. But then because after such distance, my body doesn't have enough rest, my second discipline, which was a bifins, was a bit compromised. This is why I decided not to get any risks and just do it clean. And then I come up after 120 something, I think 124, 126, I don't remember already. Why I decided to come up earlier? Because even when I did 100 and turn, I felt like a lot of lactic in my body, right? So I felt that my body haven't recovered fully. I didn't feel like extremely strong urge to breathe, but this was something new for me to have tiredness in my working muscles so early. This is why I decide, okay, I don't know what does it mean, and I decide to come up. When I come up, I think I make a right decision because again, it was no reason to push hard. This is why I think it was the right decision. After I come back from this competition in Malaysia, the plan was to go for my dentist because I need to do some complicated dental procedure. After the dentist, probably 2-3 weeks off from the water, and then go immediately hard in the pool. Unfortunately, the plan changed because my dentist was away for the holidays. So this is why after I come back the competition, I have 2 weeks before my dental appointment. So I decide that's almost immediately like start my training again. But I decide that I'm not going to do hard training because it doesn't make any sense, because then I still going to have a few weeks off after the dental procedure. So I decided to just focus on some technical drills. What I did, it was mainly training turns with a monofin because this is still a technical element where I'm really not confident. I was working on it and I think I improve it. I think I make my turns a little bit more effective, more smooth. I like now a little bit more how I do it. Also, I was just like having fun in the water and was doing some stupid exercise such as swimming upside down with a monofin technique, which looks not as beautiful as you feel it when you're swimming underwater, but it was okay. Then finally I make my dental procedure and now I'm in the middle of the 2nd week, so I'm not training in the water, obviously, and I think it's going to be 1 more week. But I already start my training cycle. I already start doing easy dry breath holds. and I'm going to continue to do them and making them harder and harder. Hopefully within a week or two, just going to do, again, nothing like difficult, just like somewhere 4.5 dry breath hold. Not more than that. Again, because like static is not my favorite discipline. I'm just doing this just to experimenting with some stuff. I also restart my dry training. So this time it's going to be more emphasized, even more than compared to the previous cycle. It's going to be more emphasized on a dry training. So it's going to be a lot of legs workout. I'm going to put some of it on my Instagram. If you're not following my Instagram, you can do it now. The link is going to be in the description. So I'm going to emphasize my training on that. In the water, my plan is more or less the same as the last training cycle. I'm going to mix sometimes volume training when I'm going to do relatively easy repetitions, just with relatively short rest, just over and over, mastering all technical elements, both bifins and monofin. And then from time to time, I'm going to do intensity training when the distance is going to be longer, but the rest in between these attempts is also going to be longer. So during the trainings, I'm planning to reach 140 meters in the both discipline, in the monofin and in the bifins, which is going to be not that hard. And then in a competition, by the way, the next competition is going to be end of September in Bangkok. In a competition, I'm planning to do somewhere around 170, 180 with a monofin and something like a 160 something with a bifin. So this is plan. The plan to make my legs stronger through the lactic training, through the interval training, through the hill running, through the different other exercises, and also keep working on my technique, keep working on my CO2 tolerance, etc., etc. And then in the end of September, enjoy the competition. Again, I'm not going to push in the competition. As I said before, this year is about to get used to the competition. I'm already getting much more comfortable during the competition. This is a plan for this year, just getting used to the competition. And as I mentioned, I'm going to do a dry training routine. And recently I posted a video about dry training routine specifically for the bifins. If you haven't seen it, check it out.